Oh, Trudy, did you happen to, well, maybe you heard it. We were talking about tattoo hairlines.
I did, yeah.
By the way, Dave Landau is here. Hey, Dave.
Hey, how are you?
I'm dying to see the pictures.
The tattooed hairline. Brandon, can you bring up the guy with tattooed bangs?
Oh my God, yes. I was laughing my ass off.
Dave, what do you think is a difficult way to start, but what do you think of Travis, Blink-182, Travis's his tattooed hairline?
I haven't seen it, but I think it's awful.
Think about
it.
No, well, how about these bangs?
Oh my God.
Look at the bangs.
Oh, that's nice. Is that done in Dearborn?
Oh, wow.
Is that for real?
Yeah. Look at that.
So when I was doing the notes last night, I found the story about this guy, and apparently when they showed him afterwards, he started crying.
Oh, yeah.
What?
So I'm like,
They look great.
Just put a hat on, dude.
Oh, for the rest of your life.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, but not,
I would dry my hair with a gun the second I got home.
why a bowl tattoo? Why not over to the side or something?
And that's true. He could just have a good, like, 1980s Rocky Dennis or
Yeah.
sort of life goes on sort of. Yeah, that is a terrible look.
Show him Travis. Why can't I think of
Barker.
Travis's last name? Travis Barker.
Barker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jason Ellis has the other tattoo hairline.
Is he trying to distract attention from his overly long neck by tattooing his head?
Oh, Barker?
I don't know what he's doing, but I think people act like it's cool, and I don't think it's cool at all. Can you comment on that?
The doggy.
Oh, yeah,
I
Lila's
got him
command.
trapped in the wire. I don't
Sorry
want
about that.
Wow, so he's full Aryan gang member in prison. He looks like he's just going to rape someone in the shower. So that's his hairline.
Yeah, he's got a full head of tattoo.
That's insecure about balding.
Yeah.
Is all
you
that
think?
is. I wonder what like that's.
Oh, the other thing we discovered yesterday is people are tattooing little dots to make a whole hairline to make it look like they shaved their head, but it just hasn't grown out much.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a good look.
I was surprised. It doesn't look bad.
It looks legit. There it is.
It's an alternative until your first date goes to run her fingers through your stubble and it's just head.
Yeah, and realizes that you're not actually Edward Norton in American History X.
Yes. In fact, you are so insecure you've tattooed your entire head.
To just make sure, I'm not really bald. Okay, you got me. Yeah, that's, I mean, that actually doesn't look horrible.
No, it doesn't.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah, if you're going to go about it, it's a lot better than putting the symbol for Cadillac and
The Mother Mary.
trees.
It has to take a million years.
3
to do that.
Shel Silverstein books.
How is Normal World going?
It's going pretty good.
Great. I see you got 100,000 subscribers, and you guys are live. What time are you live?
We usually do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Central.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an interesting time to do it.
Yeah, we try to do it as late night.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't understand that, but it seems like there's a lot of people watching live.
Yes. Yeah, we get a decent following live, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
You know, what I like about what you're doing is there's so many comedians who have started podcasting, and it seems to me during COVID you couldn't go wrong. But then as time wore on, I think people have realized that, hey, they're just kind of showing up and riffing, and you guys are actually, you have a format. You're actually talking about a lot of current events and whatnot. Did you ever participate in a just riffing kind of, I mean, you've probably been on shows like that.
Oh, yeah, the Anthony Cumia show is like that. Where we'd throw stuff out there, but we would just kind of have conversations.
You just show up and you kind of know where it's going to go?
Yeah, we just kind of would show up, look at whatever, and just talk. But I kind of like that, too, with ours. Like, more lately, we've just been having conversations, which I like. I kind of like not looking up anything. Because all the news has been the same. It's a little depressing.
Well, but you guys all follow the news, though. So I think you probably go in there and you know.
Yes.
Yeah, sadly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, we have some idea of where we're going to go.
Okay. Hey, Brandon, can you play Good Morning America? It's a story about Un and Putin today.
Okay.
And my favorite part of the story, by far, comes at the very end when Martha Raddatz hands it to Michael Strahan. Because Strahan, it just hasn't processed the story at all.
You don't think he has good command of a world event?
It's
Why not?
I hope I'm not exaggerating this. It wasn't that great, but it really was I thought it was very amusing. But the story is huge, too. It's a very important story.
He always seems on the ball.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Why are they letting him handle it?
I don't know why they let him handle anything.
I think Robin is gone.
Is that it?
Welcomed Vladimir Putin in
That's- yeah.
spectacular style. Huge crowds filled Pyongyang's main square under a broiling sun. Flags from Russia and North Korea waved together.
Moon put the wave back on.
Goose-stepping soldiers, thousands of them, paraded before the two leaders. But this visit is about more than festivities. It is an in-your-face show of unity born of necessity. Kim provides Russia hundreds of thousands of artillery rounds and
They're so
missiles
short.
for its war in Ukraine. And in return, Kim is hoping Putin will help him with his nuclear and ballistic missile program. And indeed, after hours of meetings, the two leaders did pledge support for one another in what Putin called a fight against the imperialist policies of the U.S. and its
So
allies
hell
against
is coming,
Russia.
basically.
And
Right.
Kim called
I mean,
it a
I've spaced out. There's
fiery
no way
friendship
Strahan's still
that is
paying
now
attention.
closer than ever, a friendship that the U.S. finds increasingly worrisome. Michael?
Yeah, that sounds about right there, Martha. Thank you so much for that. We're going to go overseas now.
No, that does not sound about right at all. It's not right.
Basically, death is coming to the world, and he's like, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, what can come of Putin and Kim? That just doesn't strike me as a great thing.
No, I would say terror. A lot of problems. You have two ruthless people.
Short guys, too.
Yeah, and I'll say as a short guy,
nukes.
some of us aren't nice. I'm decent, but a lot of them have a complex.
Yeah.
The B-roll is just ridiculous to look at because you see Kim Jong-un, he's the only obese fat man in the entire country.
Yeah.
He's the only one.
Yeah.
He gets all the food and looks more and more like a lesbian every day.
I don't know everything about these things, but I didn't realize that he was providing Russia with so many goods, so many missiles.
Which is
Really?
bad because we're sending stuff to Ukraine.
Yeah,
So we're not going to be able to keep up with that.
he's kind of blunting us.
Yes,
I mean, aren't we really all just extending this thing?
I feel like we're both enabling, and that's the biggest problem. Is we're both causing this.
But I didn't realize that Kim Jong-un had so much that he could just pour all this crap that Russia will, first of all, that Russia would need stuff from him, and that he would have it.
They don't have any restrictions, plus they never spend money on food there.
That's true.
They're
Nobody.
not under any nuclear agreement.
No, that's
No
true.
internet, no lights.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, none of those pesky bills.
Yeah, none of that entertainment or your own opinions.
Yeah.
Oh wow, we're all. Yeah, I'm really worried about the future.
Yeah,
I don't know how else to word it. So just anytime, I just worry. I have a 9-year-old son, and when we had him, I thought there was hope, but it turns out I was way off.
Well, it doesn't matter who gets elected. Everyone is insisting that the worst thing that could possibly happen. In fact, I was watching clips of, I think it was Rachel Maddow yesterday, who suggested that Trump may put her in an internment camp.
Yes. Well, that's what they're all saying.
Yeah, and Trump's going to cancel the
Internment camp.
View. He's going to cancel the View.
How is he going to cancel The View?
And how would that be bad?
No, that's a good point. But aren't there enough shitty things about Trump without exaggerating it?
Dude, but people go nuts. Like, I posted a stand-up clip today where it was me talking about the meme of Jesus behind Trump that says they called me guilty, too.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And all my stand-up clip is just saying, like, all right, guys, let's slow down. It's a bit different, like one of them, was Jesus. The other was Trump. He didn't fuck somebody and pay him hush shekels. So just to see people go crazy, they're like, they are the same person. Think about it, how they're persecuted. It's like, all right, we've lost our mind as a country when you see the backlash of people that the blind allegiance to any politician now. It's frightening.
I can't. The idea of being a partisan to any of these people, just a total partisan, where you make excuses for everything they do, and you agree with everything they want to do. That's insane. They're both horribly flawed, and I'm getting shit. Not really from many people, just a few people who are livid over these clips of Biden,
Right.
like at the G7, where he really the way he Wanders off was the word the New York Post used.
Yes.
That made people fucking nuts. Like, he's going to talk to the parachute guy, you idiot! And Trudy said on our show, you said, yeah, he's talking to the parachute guy or whatever. But he still is like...
Paratrooper. Sounds more like me. Go ahead.
He's moving so slowly, and the group is standing there like, hey, let's take a picture. And then he's on the far left, and he just goes, really, super slowly. And then they walk over to him because it's going to take forever to get him to walk back.
I'm starting to think these guys are too old.
Oh, well, he's what? The paratrooper's there, and he's watching something else. That doesn't concern anybody? That it's like, the parachute guy's over here, Joe. And he's staring off.
The one in front.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he's not even paying attention to that guy.
He's talking to the guy that's on the ground.
Right.
Yeah. Shoot, but
then but he's a guy who wanders off. He'll like introduce himself to a curtain. And then in the one video last week when they were talking about him shitting his pants, it's not like it was an accident. He's shaking like he's Beavis.
Okay, I am not clear on what is going on in the video because the left insists that, no, there was a chair there. He did sit down. And you know, a lot of people are saying, no, he's about to sit in something that isn't there.
Right.
And I don't know. People are so adamant about it. I don't know what to think.
Well,
what is going on?
The problem, Drew, is it's an everyday occurrence. I mean, just today there's a new one that's been released.
Oh boy, Brandon, have you vetted it?
This could be a deep fake, but he's trying to get into a car, and everybody's saying, "Look at this! He can't get into a car." And he opens the door, and he just kind of struggles to take his seat. But these keep piling up, and so we keep seeing new ones every day. Look at him,
he's missing the step.
I'm trying to get in the car.
This is the second week that he's been in Europe, though, and like twice,
he's really sleepy?
Twice in a couple weeks.
Got leg cramps.
He still has jet lag after 2 weeks.
You know, that one is not a bit. I mean, maybe he's talking to someone in the car. I mean, I'm not going to get all
Right,
worked
but
over
I'm just
that.
saying every day there's a new one, which is why we keep
I mean,
seeing
there's a
this.
running board there he could have used.
There is. I mean, he is old though, so that one's forgivable.
Yeah.
I can see that one. You know, he's very old and dangerously filled with dementia. But you're right though. Either side, you say anything and they go nuts. Frankly, I just think either way we're screwed at this point.
I don't feel good either way either because I know everybody, the other side is going to be so angry that it will be unbearable. But I'm not going to be angry because my life's going to go on and I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be fine.
Everybody's life is going to go on.
And everybody assumes everybody's position. Like I have a show on The Blaze, so everybody assumes that apparently I'm diehard right-wing Bible thumper, Trump thumper. And it's like, I'm not though. Like I want to call them on everything. Like we should call every single leader on what their issues are.
Okay, so anyway, the other day I got an email from somebody who said, "Oh my God, you're worse than Rush Limbaugh." I mean, just went ballistic. That I've crossed the line. I'm done. And so I said, "Well, what? Okay, what is it that is? What am I missing?" And others said, "Trump is such an idiot." And I said, "Send me the links. Just send the links. What have we missed? What has Trump done? I know he flubs names all the time. I don't think Trump, but Trump is out there speaking publicly a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Biden very rarely does, and I think the few times he does, a lot of times there's something a little weird about it. And so,
Yeah, aneurysms, small strokes.
But anyway, I ended it by saying, okay, who do you think would win the dementia Olympics, Trump or Biden? And he said, oh, Trump by far. And it's like, wow.
Wait. What about a jacked up Biden?
Well, I think if we give him a little bit of cocaine before the June.
That's what Trump is saying today.
Yeah. If Hunter gives him a little bit of just before the debate
His
in June.
corner man, Hunter.
Yeah.
You see him go to the corner and gives him a crack pipe and he wipes his brow and sends him on his way.
Yeah, Hunter just blows it in his face like he's getting a dog high. And then that's
the cocaine is the mystery cocaine was Biden's. It was Joe's.
That's what I loved is when people are like, "Do you think it was Joe's?" You're like, "No, I don't think it was
Look at
Joe's."
him.
I think they did a poll where 50% of people said, yes, I want both candidates drug tested before the debate. And I was
Well,
like,
hell yeah.
Absolutely.
And I also want both of them on drugs during the debate. I want them both jacked up, rambling messes.
I have a hard time. Okay, here's the thing. My parents lived to 98 and 97.
Wow.
And I remember well when they were in their 80s and they were starting to, forget a lot of stuff. And it was just a joke. It wasn't a big deal, but they weren't president.
No.
But I'm telling you, I could not have given my mom a couple lines of cocaine or a couple of Ritalin, and she would have just gone, "Oh my God, I'm ready to give State of the Union address." I mean, that's not. I don't see that as being plausible. Can you do that to an 80-year-old person? Can they suddenly be made 40 years younger by a drug for an hour?
SDO dubs.
I don't think so unless you're Keith Richards, but I think I'd like to find out. I mean, if we're going to have guinea pigs, let's do it.
No, when it was implied that Biden at the State of the Union had some incredible, I was like, I want that, whatever it is. What is it?
I know,
this
but
is
it's
good news.
It seems like it wears off really fast.
The State of the Union one, though, did last. Like, I felt
true.
like there may have been somebody under the podium slowly injecting him the entire time.
He was on a drip.
Yeah, he must have been on some sort of a crystal meth drip.
Okay, I'm dying to know, though, the sitting down video, what is the truth of that video? What really is going on there? Is there a chair behind him? Is that a clipped video? Is there some chicanery going on?
The chair's almost a moot point, isn't it? Because they let him off stage.
To me, it looks like he's honestly defecating, and I'm not just saying it as a cheap joke. Like, there is a chair there, but why is he sitting like the way that he's going into it? Look at that.
He's pausing.
Well, does he know?
That's weird.
Let me ask you this:
That's
Does he
just
not?
Weird.
Does he not know if he's supposed to sit down? Because the other three aren't sitting down. Is he just so confused that he doesn't know?
Right. Like if he genuinely forgot how a chair works, I'll give him that.
Or if he's unsure about sitting down, then you would just do it once and stand back up, I guess.
Yeah, in his earpiece, they could be like, "Salute the troops," like the time we walked by, and then he says the stuff out loud. The problem is he's Lloyd Bridges in Airplane. And
I had not seen a close-up video of this. This is the best video I've seen. Okay, so there is a chair there. That's not an issue. He did have a chair to sit in if he had so decided, but he
does.
Goes halfway, and then he freezes, or he just kind of stands there.
He's confused.
That's weird. And then he comes halfway up. He goes down a little bit, and comes up,
and he dangles. And he's kind of sitting in the chair towards the arm too. Like he's like, "What is this thing again?"
And then there's also the video, which people are also pissed about, where Joe appears to be doing absolutely nothing. Like he is literally frozen. Everyone else is kind of boogieing or feeling the music. That's a weird video. Yes. I don't think he did anything wrong, but it is strange.
I know he should have started boogieing. Remember when George Bush was boogieing down with all the black people?
Oh God,
kind of wondered about that. I thought maybe he was trying to avoid one of those.
But he's literally.
Remember Hillary dancing too?
You got to move a little bit.
But he's not moving at all.
Yeah, no.
I feel like this is the same face he made when somebody told him about Juneteenth for the first time.
Happy Juneteenth, by the way.
Thank you. Appreciate you too.
Do you guys have Juneteenth off?
Yes, we do. It's very important to Glenn Beck.
Well, you're here, so it was a fair question.
Yeah, that's true. No, yes, we do. We have to write a book report on Jackie Robinson. No, I just took this week off, actually.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
It is weird how Juneteenth. We were just talking about. We had this thing on the show where this guy, his car was spray painted with backward swastikas, and he was a black guy, and he said, "It's a Juneteenth," because it was Juneteenth. He said, and we all said, "What's Juneteenth again?" And no one really knew. And then, like 3 years later, there was Juneteenth was a holiday, and it just seems so sudden. And I just don't remember people clamoring for Juneteenth.
I never heard of it. And you know what? I don't think anybody knows the right way to draw a swastika either. They always seem to be facing the wrong way.
Yes.
My tattoo artist did it completely wrong. I should have been watching him. But I had never heard of Juneteenth, and then all of a sudden there were movies about it. And I'm not even sure what day it is. I just know it's one of the teenths.
The 19th.
Is it the 19th?
Yeah, it's the 19th.
One of the teenths.
That's fair. Now, in that case, the guy had 2 GoFundMes, didn't he? Like real quickly to repaint his car.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we determined that you made a lot more money in your GoFundMes than it would have cost to paint a car.
Oh, I'm sure.
And also it seemed like whoever was Juneteenthing him with all this stuff would have known how to make a swastika, but maybe he didn't. I don't know.
Right.
I'm just saying. And the Clio, Michigan police said that it was the investigation went nowhere. Basically. Didn't know what
was it
happened.
Clio, Michigan?
Yeah, it was Clio.
I feel like they would know how to make a swastika for sure.
Yes, I would think so.
No offense, Clio. I mean
very-
that with love. But I feel like you guys have made one or two.
Yeah, I think they've been made up there, but maybe he never had.
Yes, sir. Maybe he had already had it on his car for a long time and just wanted to get a new paint job. You believe what they did to my car 5 years ago in college?
So I just because I was curious and I was thinking about you, I looked up Louder Than Crowder today.
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure you're not that you're following all the time, but what is going on with him? Because when you left,
Yeah.
it's not your fault. It certainly hurt his show that you left, but he had the divorce, the video cam with his wife,
Some
where he was
stuff came
such a
out,
dick.
yeah.
And he blew off the Daily Wire. Was it $50 million?
I think so, yeah.
And it seemed like he was angry at them because it was such a terrible offer.
Yes.
Like they were trying to scam him into taking $50 million.
yes.
And I thought, it was a very bad look. And I wondered what this is going to do to this thing. And then YouTube, there's issues. And so now he's on Rumble mostly. Does he still have the same audience he had?
I think he's got some. I honestly...
He got audience, but
Yeah.
I just don't know what it used to be.
Truthfully, I don't know. I honestly don't watch anything of it anymore. I wish I knew more about it. But I really don't pay any attention to it. I know he's got fans that still love me and still reach out to me. I know he's got fans that hate me because, I left the show and
Right.
somehow betrayed him, which is an absurd thing, but whatever. But yeah, whenever I just left because, it was time to go. I mean, you can only deal with so much for so long and then leave,
If I had to say, I would say Anthony Cumia was a much better fit.
Matt, Anthony,
you.
I love
For
Anthony,
comedy.
dude. I love Anthony. I
Yeah.
really do. I mean, I don't love his Twitter, but I mean, I really do love Anthony. Like, he's genuinely a radio legend, and he was really fun to do radio with. And he's a good. I really like him as a person.
He seems like a good guy. I don't know Anthony. I'd love to meet him.
He's a great dude, man. You would love him.
I'm sure I would. Somebody was saying, God, what was it? He was doing one of the Dabbleverse shows, one of the Who Are These podcasts, the Uncle Rico, and somebody's like, how can a legend like Anthony Cumia be on this low-life show? And I was like, well, first of all, it's a good show, and second of all, what, he has to go on shows that are only bigger than Anthony Cumia? Who fucking cares? To me, that shows that he's a cool guy.
Normal.
Right.
He's willing to go on any show he wants to go on.
I think you should just go on the shows you like.
Yeah.
That's all that matters now. I think the problem too with a lot of the podcast sphere too, there's too much ego in it. There's so many things where everybody wants to be bigger and have this giant thing, and stuff can only last so long. I can't stand it, to be honest. There's so much crap that people get and give for even shows I've done or not done or what. It's absurd.
There's a lot of bullshit going on,
Dude,
no
there's
doubt.
There's so much bullshit, and there's way too many people doing it.
Yes, you way too many.
It's too many.
I know. I see people all the time and go, oh my God, that's terrible. That person's just eating up views.
Yes.
They're terrible. And they're just eating up views that I could have or somebody else could have. Probably not me.
One day, but yeah, right now it's just the worst timing. But just to see the egos of a lot of people, I really find it insufferable right now.
How do you like leading a show as opposed to, because you're a great sniper, but it's a different thing when you have to be the lead guy. Do you like it?
I like it okay. I like being a sidekick a lot, so I'm learning to be the lead. I really like interviewing. I love talking to people, but I prefer being set up because that's what I'm used to. I like sniping in, obviously, because that's the thing that I enjoy.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy trying to kind of do that now. Interviewing people is really fun. I really do like learning, so I guess that's just a new style for me.
Now, who been your favorite guests so far on Normal World? Do you have any?
Mike Walters, honestly, I love.
Yeah. No, Mike's great.
Yeah, I love Mike.
Is he in Arizona yet, by the way?
He just left for Scottsdale, I believe.
Wait, that's like a week late.
Is it a week
believe.
late?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
If you mean just like a day ago or two?
Oh, I think like last week.
Last
okay,
Tuesday,
okay,
I think.
okay,
yeah.
cool.
Tuesday he
Okay.
went. Yeah, he put up his house that he got for $1 for $1 million more.
Yeah, he did a lot of work on the house. It looks great.
Yes, yeah, it's amazing what he did. I was like, "You're selling this for what?" Like, it's incredible.
Yeah, that's a sweet house.
But Bridget Fetisi, Matt McClowry, who's a Detroit dude.
I've seen Matt.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'd have to say Yoshi is one of my favorites. I love him because he's just got these amazing stories from being in the porn industry and then getting into comedy. And he's always on like Your Mom's House and Rogan and all that. He's just got a really cool story. There's Derek Richards, who's a Detroit guy. Gerard Michaels. Those are probably my favorites off the top of my head.
What's the guy's name? Kilstein you had on last week. First name?
Jamie Kilstein.
Jamie
was on
Kilstein.
last week.
It was interesting because he kept talking about being canceled, and I was like, "What would this guy get canceled for?"
Yeah.
And then he mentioned that he was on Conan, and that somebody was angry about it. So I was like, "Well, I got to see this Conan appearance. What the hell did this guy do?"
Yeah.
So I go, and I thought it was like, he killed it. He was fucking hilarious. He was manic, crazy, funny as hell, in my opinion.
Yeah, when he did his Conan, I thought it was very true to his voice. I think it was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I thought he did a good job. And then apparently the booker was very upset about it.
Because of the politics?
The politics, yeah.
Okay.
Which his were liberal at the time.
Yeah, I didn't see his politics to be really strong one way or the other. It wasn't obvious to me that he's a Trump deranged guy or a Trump hater or a Biden. I mean, he just seemed, well, it was 2011, so Obama was president.
Obama, yeah.
Yeah, it was just, I just thought the material was really unique and crazy funny.
And I think he had a criticism of Obama, which you just couldn't do.
Oh.
Which is what upset the network.
Okay.
TBS.
Okay.
Which is still my favorite late night show, by the way. I loved Conan more than anybody. Yep. So
Yeah, no, Conan was, I think you being younger and Mark, same way. It's like Letterman is people my age's guy, and you guys, Conan was really like the next Letterman, kind of.
I agree.
I like them both, but it's funny. I'm learning that I like Conan a lot more as time goes by, and I see a lot of stuff that I didn't watch at the time because I was more focused on Letterman.
It was the irreverence that I think also what I loved about Letterman that went into Conan. Like you had, vomiting Kermit, the masturbating bear.
Yes.
They would do anything.
Yeah,
they would try anything.
Yeah, Triumph the Insult Comic Dog, where Robert Schmeigel would go to like a Star Wars convention.
Yep.
And ask Darth Vader, like, what button called your parents to pick you up? It's just stuff like that. It was always a blast. So I always loved that. Like, Carson was always, like, the guy who everybody gives the credit to, obviously.
There's a beauty in being nowhere, like Letterman was, and they said, look, you can't have anyone Johnny has. Other than that, you can do anything.
Right.
And Johnny
Well, do you remember what
wasn't
he
doing
said?
anything cool with young music artists, so it gave him such a broad palette.
Remember what Letterman said about that? He goes, we didn't want to do any of the things he was doing. So if that was the only edict that we had from the network, good.
Well, imagine being like, you can have Bill Murray, but you can't have Dom DeLuise.
Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I think I can make it work.
Or a rock band, because Johnny didn't do that.
Yeah, Johnny didn't do rock. I didn't realize that. In fact, I saw, because I'm such a Beatles fan, I saw Paul McCartney was on the Tonight Show. So, what? I don't remember that. And I watched, and he's talking. He didn't play.
What?
Really?
Yeah, it's like they had Paul McCartney on to talk, and he didn't play. And then they had Lennon and McCartney on announcing Apple Records, and they didn't play. And Joe Garagiola was the guest host. Yes. Like, what the fuck?
Dude, Dick Cavett had them on. Like,
Yeah,
why wouldn't
absolutely.
you have them on?
No, Dick Cavett had some of the best things that I think Lennon or George, well, George wasn't as good a guest as Lennon, but no. How
Dick
could you
Cavett was
fuck that
great
up?
because he let you talk and he got stuff out of you. I really loved him with like Brando and a lot of people. People don't give him much credit.
No, not really. Yeah, Brando is fascinating in a very weird way.
Oh my God, he raped someone with butter.
Yes,
On
in a
on
movie.
camera.
Underage girl. Yeah, he really is fast. Did you see the new pictures of what's his name playing him? He's not.
Oh,
I can't think of it. He's in like Zoolander and Titanic and then some B movies.
he's playing
Billy
Brando.
Zane.
Billy Zane.
Billy Zane.
Billy Zane, but he looks just like him.
Wow.
Like, it's staggering that Billy Zane might be great in something.
Yeah. No, I don't remember him since Titanic.
Right. Like but he looks identical to Brando, and I really want to see this because
Oh yeah, he does.
yeah, Brando's book's incredible, his life's incredible.
Is Wally Cox going to be in this movie?
Second Wally Cox mention.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so that picture was real. Wally Cox is blowing Brando. Is that what we had, Mark?
Other way around.
Well, wouldn't you?
Brando's blowing Wally Cox.
Did you
Yeah.
think it was food?
I think that's what I think it was that way.
Oh yeah.
Probably shouldn't show that.
Oh, Wally Cox's dick looks kind of dark, doesn't it?
It looks like a cigar
It's very noir.
with a helmet.
That's a pretty big dick,
He
too.
rolled his own.
How exactly did they get his? I mean,
Yeah, did they hire a photographer
yeah,
for this?
I was gonna say it does seem posed, not candid.
Yeah, it does look very breathtaking picture for a 70s.
wrap my lips around the head.
What year was this?
I think it was, I want to say it was the 60s or 50s, maybe.
I was going to say,
think
it
was
looks like
long.
handsome Brando.
He's got his eyes closed too. How romantic.
Yeah,
Doesn't
he's-
look fat.
He's pretending it's a lady's dick.
all right, no. Wally Cox actually owning up to his name. Was that his real name, or?
Oh, yeah, that's
is that why they call him?
It's Wally Penis.
COX.
Yes, his real name was Wally Gigantic Cox.
Yeah.
He's a
Pretty
tiny
young.
guy,
Is he?
He was a little guy. Yeah, he was Hollywood Squares. He was in the lower right.
like a real Mr. Peabody kind of guy with wow.
Oh, I always
Crank.
I forget what he looks like. Oh,
he
was
is.
that him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There he is.
Who was the other gay guy that was always on Hollywood Squares? Was it
Paul Lynn. We were just talking about him, too.
Paul Lynn.
Paul Lynn. Yeah.
Did you ever hear that story? What he was in first class and the kid kept running into first class.
No.
He got pissed off. It was like the 10th time, and he walks out with the kid, and he just goes, if this kid runs out one more time into first class, I'm gonna fuck it.
Wow.
What's funny though is he can't be mad because the way he talks is just so fun.
Yeah, the way
right?
he did it.
So
It's just-
if you have a guy saying that I'm gonna fuck this kid, it's like, oh yeah, whoa, please.
They're like,
Paul.
oh, that Paul Lynn, he
He's so
would never.
crazy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of who else pulled off being gay at that time.
Charles Nelson Riley. Maybe?
Oh,
Charles
big
Nelson
time.
Riley, Liberace.
They all had, you know,
What?
how you
What?
could tell
Libby's
they
gay?
all,
No, Libby, no.
they all had
No, he
bit-
sued Time
He
Magazine.
wasn't pulling off being gay.
Well, but he sued Time Magazine, who suggested he was gay, and won.
Yeah.
He won.
They all had the cum bib. That's how you knew. They all had the neckerchief in the 70s. That's how
The
you
one who
knew.
got, the hidden one was Rock, right? Rock
Hudson.
I mean, Rock.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don't you love
That's
that they
right.
gave him the gayest name to seem straight? They're like, listen, Rock Hudson, nobody will know how much you love penis. Liberace was the best too when he would go on Letterman. Or when
Yeah.
not Letterman, when he would go on Carson, and they'd be like, "So you still can't find Mrs. Right?" Meanwhile, he's still dripping from poppers from the night before.
From Scott Ferguson.
Hey, that reminds me of some big news today. George Santos
Ooh,
is on OnlyFans.
oh, that's exciting.
What?
Yeah, I thought so too.
Is he
George Santos is on OnlyFans.
mostly feet? Is that-
I don't. I mean, this is just so weird. This guy was he was a representative, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And he's elected with a fake everything.
Yeah.
Total lie. I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know anyone could pull that off. And then he was in office for a pretty long time.
He lied about a lot of things too.
Yeah.
It was, I think, like 7 or 8 different things that he kept claiming, and it was staggering. That I think you can just lie about anything actually and just stay in office at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they make the rules.
Right.
That's funny you say that because I was watching, and this was when I looked at Crowder. I saw this story, and I was like, wait, I don't know this story. And it was about Cori Bush, who was a squad member. I'm
Okay.
not really familiar with Cori Bush, but she's part of the AOC cabal, whatever.
Yes.
Anyway, she is telling Margaret Hoover from PBS, a show called Firing Line, which is interesting. I think it means they never fire back, basically.
A show that I wish was literal.
She's telling Margaret Hoover that she laid hands on someone who had tumors, and the tumors disappeared.
Yeah.
Yes, this is a representative of the United States, and Margaret Hoover doesn't say, "Oh, come on." She's like, "Really? I mean, what became of her? I don't know. She left. I never saw her again. She's fine, I guess." And Margaret Hoover doesn't even suggest that this might be bullshit. Right? It does nothing. In fact, I think she says, "Well, you're a nurse, aren't you? So you would know." And oh yeah, absolutely, no, it happened. In fact, we could probably find the clip. I think the
got it right here.
you got it.
If you
Okay,
have-
check
I gotta
this out.
see this.
You're a pastor.
Yes.
You write about healing through faith. At one point, you came across a woman with, quote, several visible tumors on her torso. Tell me what happened.
She brought it up.
So at that time, I, along with a group of friends, we would go out on the street and just meet with people and pray with people and offer them food. And this lady came to us and she had these tumors. I mean, she wanted us to like feel them. And I just remember I put my hand on her and my hand just began to move. And the lumps that were there were no longer there. And she was so happy and she like went on about her day. And I never saw her again.
So do you think the tumors disappeared?
I do. And
You
this
never
woman
saw her
was
again.
unhoused.
She could be dead.
She's someone who, you know, had been sleeping in the shelters.
Same
and
thing
sleeping on
happened
the
in high
street.
school with a girl who stuffed her bra.
If I can speak a prayer and I can believe what I believe and you believe that this will help you, then why not offer that to people? Because I know prayer has helped me.
As a trained nurse, you're a member of the medical community.
My Lord.
How do you think about those spiritual healings versus medical healings?
A lot of pushback.
Yeah, I'm glad you questioned it.
Spiritual healing is
brought it
part of
up.
what you believe, you know, and
One of the great things in your background.
Yeah.
the medical healing it's a similar thing, because I'm going to believe that this treatment that this doctor is giving me is going to help me in my situation. And so as the
Okay.
nurse,
So
But it's
she really, I mean, Margaret
also
Hoover,
medicine and
she obviously
science.
feels that
Right.
I can't push back against this, right? I mean, isn't that what's happening?
No, she doesn't want to.
Well, she's not pushing back, but she did say you're a nurse. So, you know, the way she kind of softly pushed back.
In a way where it's
she
like,
was-
yeah, like you. So you
really,
you have the two kinds of healing. You know, the one that is real, and then and then the one where you're pretending you're Jesus right now.
Yeah.
And she's like, yes, and I feel they're both right. And you're like, but you know that you're lying, right? Like, how could you? I just don't know if you could sit through the interview, right? And
I know,
just not
no,
say
that's PBS.
Yeah, like this. But, yeah, should PBS have an agenda to pretend that that's real?
No, absolutely not.
I think you're right. I think she pushed back slightly as much as she felt she could.
Right.
I think maybe she was scared
Well,
because
you
she
know,
believed it.
the is he from PBS or was he from public radio that said, hey, by the way, every editor here is a Democrat, and I think this is fucked up, and I think we should have.
Business.
Oh,
writer
NPR,
at
okay.
NPR, yeah.
Maybe if she pushed back, it would cause problems for her.
Yeah,
I mean, which is really weird.
I think it would have, though. I think if she
Probably.
would have attacked her, it would have been an issue because they would have said, like, okay, so is this racial? Is this this? Is this?
Are you
know?
challenging someone's faith?
Yeah.
I do think she had her reveal more of herself, though, and let people who are watching kind of decide, like you did, that that's bullshit, and she's not Jesus.
I don't
Right.
think she made tumors disappear. I don't
I know,
think
no,
that's
no,
in
no,
doubt.
no one thinks that.
I really don't.
Because where's the proof?
Well,
Where's
she never
the
saw her. She
lady?
walked away. She never saw her again.
Yeah.
Okay, so
She could have gotten hit by a car that night and died.
Yeah, what happened? Like, oh, well, she died from being riddled with tumors.
Tumors, yeah. They came back, yeah.
Are you following the WNBA at all?
Every day.
Oh, I seriously am. I'm really
stopped
getting a
watching.
kick out of it. It's insane.
I have a little bit. Also because apparently you can get a $23 million Nike deal.
Yeah.
Which never happened ever.
No. And
That I find amazing.
it's incredible. I mean, honestly, what's happening with Caitlin Clark's amazing. And the fact that the league is so pissed about it because she's straight and white
Is incredible.
is also incredible because she's bringing, I mean, they're flying charters now. Although I just learned that they could have skipped the charters and doubled their pay.
Really?
But wouldn't you rather fly commercial and make twice the money? But maybe when you're making
because
76,000.
no one really knows who you are.
Yeah, that's true. Well, some of them, that means you're also making $23 an hour now.
Yeah, maybe you'd rather fly private. But I saw a clip of Angel Reese, who's her arch rival.
Okay.
Going back to college. And Angel Reese is saying, I just want everybody to know that it's not one person that made this league, it's two, because I was the other one. Because she played against her in college and defeated her in this big game 2 years ago. And I thought, okay, I mean, the WNBA is going to descend upon this one and say, no, you're not. It's not you and it's not her. But nobody said anything.
Right.
Because Angel Reese is the right person to say that and
Right.
not be pushed back on. If Caitlin Clark said that, they would have a shit fit.
Absolutely,
They are having a
would.
shit fit, and she doesn't say anything.
No, she doesn't do anything wrong. But that's the problem. Is, and you've heard stuff. Here's the part I love is when there people are coming out going, "Oh, so what? The thing is because she's beautiful. That's the problem."
Oh yeah, pretty
you're like-
privilege.
Yeah, and you're like, are we looking at the same person? Like by WNBA standards?
Yeah.
And they keep comparing her to the one woman who ended up in the Russian prison. I keep forgetting her name.
Oh, Brittany Griner.
Brittany Griner, where you're like, it's not a comparable thing at all in skill or controversy. The one the one snuck drugs into a country that tends to be a bit strict. And this one is, actually a great athlete, and everybody has a problem with her because, like you said, she's basically the Eminem of women's basketball.
Yeah, exactly. Or the Serena Williams of tennis.
Exactly.
Or the Tiger Woods of golf.
100%.
Yeah.
It goes both ways. And, it's like, let her have it. And I couldn't believe when she had the Nike deal. I thought she was making, like, maybe $100,000 a year.
Yeah, that's what their salary is.
Yeah,
less than that.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
But those girls, a lot of them have great sponsorship deals. I mean, a lot of them.
Which I had no idea because I've just never taken it seriously.
I didn't either.
Because I'm a man and I'm a dick. And now it turns out I was wrong.
Yeah, no, it's amazing what one person has done, but it's just that it's the wrong person.
Yeah, like why her? You're like, because she's better.
She's really good. I mean, that's the part that nobody seems to want to talk about. But I was just curious if you had been following that.
A little bit.
Did you see
what's interesting, after she got her Nike deal, Nike gave one to that Asia Wilson, who apparently is the best player in the WNBA. So it's like, well, I guess we got to give the best player in the WNBA a shoe deal as well. So she has her own shoe now, too.
Wilsa Cox.
What's how much was her deal for?
I don't know how much it is, but she's like the only other WNBA player besides those two that I know because everyone said she's no Asia Wilson. I'm like, who the fuck is Asia Wilson?
Oh, I see her. Okay, well, she's cute.
Yeah, I mean, no, there's nothing wrong with it, but I guess she's the best player. But I just think it's interesting that Nike's like, okay, we'll give her a shoe deal too.
Yeah, they're like, don't look, we're not racist.
Exactly.
Can you imagine Nike jumping on that? Like, look, we'll totally give a shoe deal to a black person. Like, wow, Nike.
I know, Colin Kaepernick.
Glad you could finally prove yourself.
Kaepernick still has a deal and he hasn't played in 10 years.
It'll be interesting to see how many shoes they sell. Will people buy Caitlin Clark shoes? Because I was reading a story where somebody was saying, boys will buy Caitlin Clark shoes like crazy. And I was like, I don't know about that.
I guarantee you they won't.
Let me ask you this. This is a dumb question. Is it just shoes, or is there like Caitlin Clark sports bra or compression shorts? I don't know.
Probably.
I mean, is it a whole apparel thing?
There's a dick holster. I don't know, actually, because the shoe I keep seeing every woman wearing are the white Nike Jordan 1 thing.
Yes, those are back.
Oh, is that right?
Those are back in a big way.
Is somebody wearing those, or is that just something that one person wore and now they all wear it?
I think the latter.
Is that it? Okay.
Because I'm starting to see them everywhere amongst
NBA too?
moms.
Yeah, because every
Oh,
plane
mom.
that I
Yeah,
but even kids,
Birmingham.
younger
Yeah, kids too, yeah.
Birminghamish moms is a good way to put that.
Well, I always thought his shoes were just cool. I
did
didn't
too.
really care they were Michael Jordans. The black and the red, it was just the colors were
But
great.
it's the all whites with the black stripe or the black swoosh.
Oh, okay.
See, I like the old ones though. Like I do like the ones. Like
Yeah.
those ones, the throwbacks.
Yeah.
Once they got all Fresh Prince and like Back to the
Yeah.
Future 2-ish, they were ridiculous.
With the auto laces?
Yeah, the auto laces. I'm not saying I wouldn't take a pair of auto laces. I'm not a monster. But yeah, I do like the throwbacks.
Yeah.
Did you see the Matt Gaetz is back under investigation?
I did.
How did he disappear from the radar? Because I remember like 3 years ago, it's like underage whores, over state lines, drugs, Venmos, and it was like, wow, he's done. He was asking for a pardon, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
And then the next thing I knew, he supported the Free Britney movement. It was
Yes.
like, he's for Free Britney. Brandon, play the drop.
Oh, hold on.
He went after her old man.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie Spears is a dick.
It's part of his statement at the Free Britney gathering. I mean, there's a congressman here from the United States who goes, Jamie Spears is a dick. And then, I mean, it seemed like everything kind of went away. I don't know if it's because of that, but now all of a sudden it's back. And, he seems to me, I can't imagine anyone would ever sleep with him without getting money and drugs, which is what the charges are.
No, he looks like the real Patrick Bateman.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, like Patrick Bateman
Packing on
should look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Packing on a few pounds.
But the Beavis and Butthead sort of thing.
Yeah, he does.
Does look
Yeah,
like
he's-
Butthead.
Which
Doesn't he have
one,
that look?
Beavis or
Yeah.
Butthead?
Yeah, he definitely doesn't look like he's going to tell you about the deep cuts on a Huey Lewis and the News album before taking an axe to you.
No, he's ghastly looking. He's really, but you know, apparently he was sleeping with all these 19-year-olds and maybe even younger and plying them with drugs. And I was like, well, if people were sleeping with him, I would suspect those things automatically.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He looks like the kind of guy, like he looks like he got a bunch of Botox that made him look like Satan. It's weird, doesn't it? Like he's got the evil eyebrows.
Yeah, the eyebrows are definitely,
They're like
very
naturally demonic.
Yeah, but do they always look like that? Didn't they change why he looked different? Because it seems like they're arched more now. Is he trying to counteract the five head?
That's
Possibly.
That's possible. I don't.
Because it doesn't look as big with the arched eyebrows.
He is definitely evil looking.
Yeah.
But they nailed his buddy. I watched the story this
That's
morning.
what a lot of it's about, right?
One-time friend. Wait, what do they call him? One-time close friend, Joel Greenberg. Like one-time close friend. That's an interesting description. He got busted for sex trafficking a minor, and supposedly these guys were hanging. I mean, they were thick as thieves.
Who is this guy?
Joel Greenberg is his name.
Okay.
And they went after him, and they got
he's
him, and then Matt
guilty, yeah.
Gaetz somehow just.
Skated.
I like how they say one time. Like, come on, guys. One time.
One time.
One time.
Close
Come on.
friend.
We've all.
For a day.
What? Come on. You've never sex trafficked a minor one time?
So, yeah, when we're forced to attend or paid to attend parties with Gaetz that featured drugs, which probably meant Gaetz gave them lots of drugs. He took none. He took advantage of them, had sex. And then his only response to this was, every investigation into me ends up the same way. Total exoneration. I was like, that's not saying you're not guilty.
It's saying you're in politics and have good lawyers and money. That's all
Exactly.
it's saying. It's also saying you're probably guilty.
Yeah, total exoneration's great, but that doesn't mean you didn't do it.
Well, this is an ethics review, so what does that mean anyway? They're just gonna, yeah, you were unethical.
How did he avoid
there's no
criminal
charges.
prosecution, though? How does his buddy get nailed and he doesn't get nailed?
Great question.
Doesn't make any sense to me.
I wonder if he pays him to take the fall.
No,
yeah,
because Greenberg came after him pretty hard.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
his one-time close friend.
yeah, he did. Uh-huh.
Oh, that's odd. They were so close, they were high-fiving in a pyramid.
He also this I thought was my favorite part of the story was Matt Gaetz. Then they said this morning, allegedly showed nudes and videos to people on the House floor. You're like, oh my God! You know, if had it been in his apartment, it would have been okay. But on the sacred House floor.
The sacred floor where that guy got butt fucked.
Yes, and where Cori Bush told her story about faith healing.
Yes.
Really?
As if that's the first time too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
No.
all.
You know, Stephen Douglas had a lithograph or something that he showed off to everybody.
Yeah.
Stephen Douglas.
I don't know. It's the old-timey name I could think of.
They're all disgusting. That's the part. I really do feel like the amount of stuff that goes on with just anybody involved in politics in the House.
Who would want to do that job?
I don't
You have to
understand.
kiss ass and raise money. It's just, it's a gross job.
And you just lie and you can stay forever.
Yeah, well, maybe
Yeah.
that's why you do it. You make all the rules too.
Right.
Did anybody see?
It feels like you're bought and paid for, and then after that, you really don't have any free will.
You don't-
just have to do what
exactly.
they say.
Well, you're bought and paid for, so you can find a 19 to buy and pay for.
Somebody put this out on, I think it was on Twitter, and it was getting a lot of, it might have even trended. It was a letter to Jill Biden. It was basically blaming her, saying, how can you let this poor man run for president? And
Elder abuse? Is that what
yeah,
they're saying? They're claiming elder abuse?
well, they're claiming that if she cared about him, of course she would say, Joe, you're 81. What the fuck are you doing? You don't have that much time left. Spend it with family. You don't need all this pressure. And I mean, I don't agree with that because obviously he wants to be president, right?
Yeah, I think.
As much as he knows.
I mean, I don't know for sure.
I don't either.
Does he know?
Honestly, I think every time they ask him to do a speech, he's like, "Where's the black guy?" And they're like, "No, you're president now."
Oh, I'm glad you mentioned that because that's the other one that people were so mad about was at this Kimmel, the fundraiser with Jimmy Kimmel,
Yeah.
Yes.
and Obama and all those people, that's a deep fake. And I'm like, what's the deep fake? Obama grabs him or kind of takes him by the arm and tells him to get off stage, which is weird.
Right.
What is the other side of that story? That he's just telling him to get off stage. What's the big deal? I mean, I guess it's not a big deal, but it was kind of weird.
He was leading him like it was an elderly parent. Like he was like it was an assistant. You know what I mean? It looked more nursing home.
Well, kind of like Maloney at the G7 when she takes him by the arm and says, "Joe, we're taking a picture." They forget about the paratrooper.
The other side, so that Brandon's showing the clip that really got spread around where he's frozen and then Obama leads him off. The other side is a clip that's way longer from another angle where he was slowly pointing at people while working his way across the stage.
I guess if it was a Michigan
what people
nursing-
want to see, right?
Yeah, I guess if it was a Michigan nursing home, Obama would have a teardrop tattoo and be punching him in the face. No, but it is a little weird though.
Wait,
Like,
what's the
he's
longer clip?
guiding
I
him.
don't think I saw the longer clip.
There's just a longer clip from another angle that's, shows him, pointing at people and walking around.
But he still freezes for 1, 2, 3, 5. I mean, my eyes aren't lying to me, are they?
No, that's a mini stroke because everybody around is waving and moving.
Well, I would think that the president should not be told when to go off stage or where to go. It's like he decides for himself and he goes, and then you go.
Yeah, I feel like he should have his wits about him enough to know when to walk. Call me old-fashioned.
Well, I don't know why this is just making people
Why don't they just put him
angry.
Why don't they just put him in a
is.
wheelchair?
They
They should
He
give
wouldn't
him,
be the first, right?
No, they give him the old polio treatment.
Roosevelt.
Yeah,
give him the old Roosevelt
Yeah,
treatment.
he was like Floyd the barber. on
They
Andy
put him in
Griffith.
a wheelchair and claim he has polio now.
That's what they should do. They should go, look at the vaccine
It's
wore
back.
off.
The polio vaccine.
He got it in 1950.
It wore off.
His 65-year shelf life.
Yeah, you see, we didn't want him to marine crawl everywhere, so he got it. They should get him an old wooden chair.
The same one that Roosevelt used.
Just put a blanket over his legs.
Now, surely you're keeping up with Bill Belichick's new relationship.
I've heard a bit.
He is bonded with a 24-year-old over a philosophy project. Actually, bonded with her 3 years ago on an airplane. There's the picture of them on the plane.
Aw.
And she was reading a book, and he was fascinated by it.
I bet.
And, yeah, they found some common ground, which I think it's said that he claims that they bonded over her philosophy
Which
project.
Garfield book was it?
I think they bonded over her pussy and his bank account.
Oh, that's what it was.
yeah.
That's my guess. But I don't know. Maybe it was her philosophy project.
Did you see that he signed her book, her textbook? It was nice meeting you. Thanks for the conversation about logic. Signed his name. And then every year that they won the Super Bowl on there, which is a really weird signature to her.
Seriously?
Yeah, and
Maybe
then she gave up the
flex.
book because it was a textbook, so she sold it and somebody else had it now. And it's like, hey, when this relationship came out, they showed it. I mean, it's on the internet.
And she failed junior chem.
Maybe he signed every year because three of the years are when she was under 5.
Yeah.
She wouldn't know.
She wouldn't know. Exactly.
It was her coloring book.
But my guess on this is that Belichick was such a total nerd when he was 24, 25
Easy.
that he's never had a piece of ass like this.
Ever.
And he's like, this is my chance, finally.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, he's been upgrading.
Well,
Yeah,
he's-
but
It's the third time he's upgraded, right?
the girl he was with before this was beautiful. She was 10 years younger than him. I thought she was very pretty. I'm like, wow. I mean, is he?
Yeah, but she's
it
not
seems
this
like-
24-year-old.
No, he definitely traded up 39 years, but I thought Bill Belichick would maybe feel a little weird about being with a 24-year-old. Who is it more
Well,
embarrassing
look at
for?
Look at Robert Kraft. I mean, Kraft trades up every month.
Who would you be? Would you be more embarrassed if you were Bill Belichick or Jordan, the 24-year-old girl?
Oh, I would be more embarrassed if I was Bill Belichick, I think, because Jordan, you know why she's there.
Yes.
Like, she knows why she's there. It's like,
Yeah.
look, I'm going to get a bunch of money as long as I can keep feeding this guy cheeseburgers and maybe eventually get a ring put on my finger.
Yeah, but he knows
or get
that's why
pregnant.
she's there.
He does.
He
That's
knows-
true.
I think they both know what the deal is.
Yeah, she gets a bunch of money and she hopes he dies. It's just got to be odd
Exactly.
that every night you go to bed with a guy, it's like, maybe I could just do him so hard that his heart stops and I get a big house.
But she's got to get pregnant or get married.
That's true.
One or the other.
Can you imagine hearing that? Like, oh, you think he's fertile enough or would have the money to create such a Frankenstein baby?
Probably, maybe. Might take a few visits to the IVF people.
Oh, that's true. You never play catch with your dad because he's in a polio chair.
Anyway, today this video came out of this. This is him leaving. Can you put it on the other screen, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's leaving her house in the morning.
Look she's not even putting sunscreen on him. She just hopes he gets cancer.
Exactly.
Wait,
Or pneumonia.
Yeah, exactly. She's just putting oil on him and telling him that it's
he
sunscreen.
has bees. He has a bee cup.
Oh,
Yeah, he
easy.
does. He does.
How old is he? though?
Hairy bee cup.
He's 72.
He's got a WNBA trainer.
I mean, why is he leaving the house with his shirt off?
And who supplied this ring cam to the media?
I gotta believe she was renting, and then whoever owns this house is the one that had the ring cam. Because this came out a while ago, and everyone's like, "Is this Bill Belichick leaving someone's house at 6 in the morning?" And people were like, "Yeah, it looks like him," but it was never confirmed until now.
Right at Belichick titty level, too.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
a good look.
And Brady made a joke about this on the
right.
Brady roast.
That's right.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. How'd you like the roast, by the way?
I thought it was good. I thought it was good.
It's great.
Favorite moments?
I thought Nikki Glaser stole the show. Actually,
was
I thought
phenomenal.
she stole the show. To be honest, I thought.
Have
she
you had
did
her on?
great. I haven't, but I've met Nikki several times. I
Cool.
need to have her on.
She is good.
I do. I see Tony a lot at Mothership, and then I thought
he was good.
I thought he did a really good job. But yeah, I thought those two probably were the sets of the night.
Tony was really good.
He did a really good job.
So you've been playing Mothership?
Oh yeah, a lot.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I do that a lot. Usually on Mondays and Tuesdays because I can only do it certain nights when I'm, not on my show. So I go down and usually do Mondays and Sundays.
Great.
It's a great room, dude. It's really a blast.
How many does it hold?
It depends what room you're in. Little boys probably around like 120, and then big boys I think about 220 maybe.
So people love it because the crowd is the right size, not too big.
Not too big, not too small, perfect acoustics, and then it sells out every night because it's Rogan's Club.
Sure.
And it's also the crowd's they're not offended by anything.
Because it's Rogan's Club.
Yeah, because it's Rogan's Club. So that's the best part is you can say whatever you want. So it feels like you're doing comedy 15 years ago.
See, I would almost expect some asshole to go there and film it and try to cancel people.
And that's the best part is they make you put your phone in a bag, and then you have
cool.
Rogan's boys who all know, ninjutsu or whatever, standing around watching you. So they'll just kill you if you try to record something. So that's the best part.
You know what's interesting though is with the quality of people they have there, because the best comedians are playing there, the very best.
Oh, you'll walk in like Ron White's just sitting there. Like anybody getting ready to go on stage.
That's great.
It's amazing.
But I would think a 220 room wouldn't be enough to pay the best guys. Do they charge more? They must.
Oh yeah, well they do charge more, yeah. But you'll have like you have a bunch of people sitting out, but they're going there more to practice new material and that sort of thing.
Oh, okay.
And then on the weekends, people just want to do it to play that room. So I think it's sort of one hand washes the other. Rogan's done a lot for so many comics; they kind of owe him.
So how much comedy is moving to Austin? Because I know quite a few guys have moved to Austin.
I
Is
would
it
argue,
possible that it could become the epicenter?
It is. I mean, I would argue way too much. But no, honestly, it's becoming the new LA. In a lot of ways, at least it's
for comedy.
For
anyway.
comedy, yeah, not for acting or anything else. But it's definitely become the hangout for those kind of comics.
So who's playing the Comedy Store?
You'll still get like a lot of those comics that are like Sam Tripoli. You'll still get Sebastian, Gabriel Iglesias. There's still people that'll go out there and perform there that still live in Los Angeles. Tim Dillon, I think, but he might be making the move to Austin. But he might even be there now. Actually, I take that back. But you will still get people that are out there still trying to do the LA thing. But for the most part, it seems that they're coming in hordes out to Austin.
Wow.
Which is cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's
and
really awesome.
Rogan started the move basically, didn't he?
Oh, absolutely.
And then Bert Kreischer and what's his name?
Bert's still in L.A.
Well, but he's in L.A. But his partner Tom Segura. Yeah, Tom's studio is in Austin, isn't it? Yeah,
he's in Austin.
So Bert goes to record there, and that's the kind of thing. I know they have a very successful podcast, but they bank like 4 at a time, and it just. I notice a lot of the comments are really turning against those guys.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I think they're just riffing and not really preparing, so to speak.
I think they're taking it more seriously now. I don't know Tom. I've never met him.
Yeah.
I know Bert.
I think Tom's funny. I like
of course. Tom. Of course. I think he's very funny. And then Bert, I've known for I've known Bert for a long time. Like, I was just texting with him the other day about a couple things, but Bert's Bert.
Yeah, but funny. It's funny. Bert is funny, but I find myself laughing at him a lot of times when he's laughing at himself.
Yes, I think that's when Bert's at his best.
Yeah, no, he's a real character, no question.
Yeah.
And this tour, it's like an arena tour, right? It's got all these fucking guys on it. It's I forgot who was describing this, but they're saying there's like 5 trucks. They move the whole stage and all this stuff. I mean, has comedy ever had a tour like that?
I don't think comedy's ever been bigger than it is now. Because if you look at Kill Tony, for example, that's an open mic, essentially.
It was Kill Tony talking about it, because Kill Tony is going on the tour for like 4 dates, and he's like, I can't go any more than 4 dates.
Yeah, because it's like the Kia Forum, then he's doing 2 in New York at Madison Square Garden. So you look at that, and that's 2. I mean, I don't think it's ever been this big. And then when you look at Bert's show, he has Chad Daniels on that, who's an absolute beast, and he's probably the most underrated on the tour. The guy's amazing. Big J. Okerson, Kelsey Cook, they're all really, really great comics. Like that he brings with him. I think Jelly Roll's doing music on the tour. So
cool.
It's this incredible show that you have. Like, I mean, I'm surprised Bert's surrounding himself with such talent. I mean, I would love Bert.
He wants to sell out.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
he does.
Yeah, he's got great comics on there. Chris Porter's on there. It's a great tour. But when you look at all these guys, I've never seen
a lot of guys to pay.
Yeah, dude, and I've never seen comics draw like this though, where you are just going into arenas and packing them. It's just never. It's been done with Dice. It's been done.
Yeah.
Well, Kevin Hart.
Right, yeah. But even like 2 nights at Madison Square Garden, this wasn't even 6-7 years ago. This didn't exist.
Do comics get mad at Kevin Hart for doing every job?
No, I've met him. He's pretty nice.
He seems like a good guy, but he is everywhere. Does he ever say no?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
How could you? It's Welcome to the Jungle 2, Jumanji.
Yeah, all that stuff.
yeah.
Next thing you're doing a credit card commercial. The guy's got to have so much money.
Oh, he's loaded.
But he does stuff like, I remember talking to Big J. Okerson about PlayStations, and Jay's like, yeah, I bring mine on the road. He's like, yeah, I just buy one and leave it in the hotel.
That's a nice flex.
Yeah, which it also sounds cocky, but when you think about it, if the cleaning lady finds it, it's kind of nice.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It's like it's a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
Now, Andrew Schultz is selling out places that big too, isn't he?
Dude, I think he sold out half of Australia from the picture I saw. It's impressive.
I mean, how many guys are selling out arenas? Andrew Schultz, Kreischer. Tom Segura did Little Caesars Arena, didn't he, when he was here?
Yeah, I gave away tickets.
Did he really?
I was shocked by that. I mean, that's fucking impressive.
I know Shane did. It was
Shane Gillis?
Yeah, he did. What was it? It wasn't Little Caesars Arena. It was one of the theaters, though.
Seems like he could almost do that.
I think he's getting there.
Is his Netflix show good, by the way?
Tires?
Yeah.
Yeah. My friend Chris also created it with him, and
cool.
He has a show called Stuff Island with Tommy Pope, and Tommy Pope and I used to have a show, and it's great.
Mark, have you seen Tires or
I
Trudy?
have not, no.
No?
I've only seen a couple episodes. It is good, but I haven't seen every episode. I don't want to lie and pretend I've watched it all.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a fun show.
By the way, Trudy, Tom Cruise's new Mission Impossible movie is on Netflix now.
What? It is?
It is on Netflix.
Have you watched any of them yet, Trudy?
Trudy's never seen
I
one.
have not.
God,
Really?
No, I have no excuse
Such a
not to
character
now, huh?
flaw.
Trudy's boycotting Tom Cruise.
Why?
Not actively. I just never watched Mission
She's never
Impossible.
seen any Mission Impossible.
You don't want to straight marry him?
No, no, not at all. I just feel like at first when he was not really the Brat Pack, but he was that Tom Cruise. He was, hot and funny and all that, but
Risky business.
risky
You're missing
business.
out.
Tom Cruise.
You're punishing yourself.
It's the Scientology.
Oh, you're punished. So what?
Well, I mean, it's the making.
You don't get
It's making
initiated into
C-
Scientology when you watch Mission Impossible, or maybe you do. And
It's making Sea Org children build him a house and do his gardening and stuff.
I know,
like that. Come on, really?
He is annoying as fuck.
yeah, but the
God,
movie
they are good movies.
The movie's awesome. What are you talking about?
Really good.
Yeah.
And then I got all these people
what
on
if
the
a kid's getting
sidelines going,
25 cents?
"Never watch it. I never watched it. You should."
Oh, you're getting hit from the other side, too.
I'm getting all kinds of people who are
Oh,
saying,
so you're going to
I'm
believe the
with
people
ya.
that haven't seen it versus the people that have seen all of them and tell you they're awesome.
Like, fuck Tom Cruise.
I've seen the first one, the second one, and Ghost Protocol. Those are the 3.
Oh,
I've
they're
seen.
all awesome, Dave.
Yeah.
The new one, okay.
It's ridiculous, but they're fun.
Well, no, wait a minute. You used to make fun of his, like they would show him, Tom Cruise runs faster than any other human being, and they show him doing that.
Oh, yeah.
No, doing your own stunts is hilarious.
He's a complete asshole.
Oh, absolutely.
No question about it.
But the movies are awesome.
I feel like he's running away from his gay thoughts.
He's running really fast.
Yeah, look at him go.
He repels from a building, then he throws himself out of the cliff, and he always has to, and he wants to do something in space next.
Oh, yeah, he's going to do the first spacewalk in a movie.
Yeah.
And it's going to be awesome.
Is that really happening?
No care. Who knows?
Probably.
I'm kind of curious.
When it's on the big screen, I'll know.
I mean, the guy, though, is in his 60s and looks like he's 15.
Yeah. Maybe there's something to this Scientology.
Him, Ralph Macchio, Rob Lowe, like half the cast of The Outsiders looks like they're still in their 30s, and then the other half definitely is either dead or looks their age. It's an interesting...
Yeah, that's true. Have you seen the Brat Pack documentary?
I just started watching it.
Did
I've
you?
only seen half, yeah.
How did you like it?
Boring.
Yeah, Mark didn't like it at all.
I fucking hated it. And I watched the whole thing because I thought it was just Andrew McCarthy whining the whole time.
I think it was Andrew McCarthy going like, I bet I'm still friends with Amelia Estevez.
Okay, Dave. Dave, did you feel bad or did you laugh when he called all those people and it went straight to voicemail every time?
It was hilarious. And I loved when he showed up and it's basically Emilio Estevez in his kitchen trying to get Andrew McCarthy out of his kitchen. That was the best cut
What's
they could
the problem?
he's just so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And even
Really?
They haven't seen each other in 30 years.
Yeah, he's like, I haven't talked to this guy since 1989. Hey, it's Andrew McCarthy. I'd sure like to interview you about how the Brat Pack affected my life. And you can tell all the other actors are pretending.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just trying to get some kind of name for himself.
I feel like the only one who wasn't pretending was John Cryer. I think
Yeah.
John Cryer was really into it.
He's just too nice. He's just a nice guy, isn't he?
Yeah, and I
John
think
Cryer.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I have to see. I demand to see the picture of John Cryer that you guys were looking at.
Oh, yeah. Bring up.
But, oh, I thought you wanted to see C. Thomas Howell's collapsed
His
penis.
head is scary. I swear to God. And also,
He has the reverse
Can you
tattoo.
bring it up here, Mark?
dots.
There you go.
I think.
Oh
that,
my God!
I really
he looks
think-
like an alien from the Star
yeah,
Trek
that's a
series.
misshapen head.
Yeah, I feel like I saw him on Twilight Zone a long time ago.
Yes, yeah.
He's the one from 2.5 Men that doesn't
Yeah.
have AIDS.
Yes.
Yes. Did his hair fall out all at once? Because I don't remember him
Going
being
through
even
the
bald at all.
stages.
Yeah, I think he just decided one day I'm just going to shave it, and it just never grew back.
Oh no!
He looks ridiculous.
His house is crazy though. That when he was interviewing Andrew McCarthy,
yeah.
you can tell Andrew McCarthy was like, I thought I'd have one of these.
Same with Demi Moore's house when he's wandering through it trying to find out where she is.
Oh yeah, that's the best.
Yeah,
oh, and also when he shows his first Camaro that he bought when he was like 27,
Yes.
and then he's also now renting one.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Well, and then you
Really?
juxtapose those two houses with him doing interviews with his kid sitting on the couch in his tiny apartment. It's like, oh boy,
Wait, does
McCarthy.
he really have a tiny apartment?
It's not. I mean, it's New York City, so take that for what it's worth. But he's doing an interview. He's sitting in front of a computer or whatever, and his kid's sitting on the couch, in the room behind him, playing on his, his phone or whatever.
The bathroom and the kitchen are the same build or same room.
It looks small.
It's
I
not.
guess-
It's not tiny for New York, but they still have to shoot it, and it's not like the kid can hide in a different room.
Exactly.
I guess I would have thought. I really would have thought that Andrew McCarthy lived in a pretty big fucking house. I guess I would have thought that.
If you really
But
think
if you
back
didn't wanna
to
live in
how
New
big
York-
he was at that time,
He was huge.
because he was in every one of the movies. You figured he was getting a pretty good paycheck. He was
Yeah.
definitely the leader of the Brat Pack.
Yes.
And even though it was a piece done on Rob Lowe, so you assume he was making a ton of money, and then Less Than Zero, which is a terrible movie.
Oh, I know, so bad, but very watchable for
Yeah.
some
I
reason.
like that movie.
What
Yeah.
happened to Jamie Gertz, by the way? That girl was really cute.
She really was. I don't
She
know
was.
what happened to it.
I don't either.
Maybe it's like Tom Cruise's wife in the first Top Gun, Kelly McGillis.
Oh my
I
God.
wish-
Oh God.
What a joke.
Dude, I wish they would have brought her back for the second one, though.
As what?
Just
As
as his
a
wife.
worship?
No, just
Oh, as his wife
just
now?
having to deal with her living on the, just living in a,
Supporting her.
She yelled at us once, remember?
Did she really?
Oh,
Just, can
yeah.
you
Yeah, she
imagine
did.
Yeah,
Him
she-
still hooking up with her in the new Top Gun and just leaving the house all the time.
That is
The
so
chemistry would be the same.
bizarre to think that was his love interest in the first one, and he looks how he looks, and she looks like how she looks. That's
she-
bizarre.
She's like, where you go? And he's like, I don't know. Hopefully to die on this mission.
But Andrew McCarthy, for all those great things that happened, Then for the next like 30-some years, he was just spending money and really nothing coming in.
No, he's done random B movies and I like C movies, like really nothing. And it's not that I didn't like him in those movies, but he just he was the one that fell off completely, and I thought he'd be the star.
I don't think I've seen him in anything since.
Weekend at Bernie's, probably.
Yeah, but what year was that? Was that 90s?
Early 90s.
Okay.
And then Weekend at Bernie's 2.
That's right.
Where for some reason the corpse hasn't rotted up.
He didn't have like a massive, expensive drug problem that we know of, but wasn't he a raging alcoholic? Didn't he get cleaned
Andrew
up
McCarthy?
too? Yeah,
Was he?
I think he was.
Okay.
But I mean, that's not where all his money went.
I'm guessing by the Irish name. And yeah, maybe. And I mean that as a half Irish.
You can say that.
I can say it Irish.
I guess I would have thought that Weekend at Bernie's was his best movie.
I would agree.
Because in those Rat Pack movies, he was just kind of I guess
What
he
about
had
Pretty
big
in
roles,
Pink,
but-
though? I mean,
Yeah, that's true. I suppose that's possible.
His last work, significant work, was the TV show, remember The Resident?
I do remember that. That got a lot
It was a
of. Wasn't
Fox
somebody
TV
else?
show.
Wasn't someone else famous in that, like Brooke Shields or someone?
the hell is The Resident?
The Resident's a
Never heard of
doctor
that.
show from a couple years back, 2022 and 2023. He did 26 episodes.
Oh,
He was a
okay. I'm
doctor.
thinking
That wasn't even the star, though.
No, he was not.
he was in something in the around 20.
Patient on episode 5.
He was in something around 2015 or 2016 where he was a super rich
Oh,
guy.
was it The Blacklist?
Is that what it was?
That's
he was
James
mis-
Spader's friends
Spader.
with them.
He
Yeah.
only did one episode of The Blacklist.
Oh,
though.
22 it said.
Oh,
I
he-
thought. Oh, he's. I don't know.
Oh, Blacklist. Yeah, I haven't watched. Funny, I watched about 10 of those, and I haven't watched any since. So, is it worth going back to the?
No.
No.
Never watched
Okay.
it. I watched a couple. I like James Spader. He can be
He's
a
great.
great scumbag.
Yeah, absolutely. He was kind of Brat Pack because he was in Bad Influence with Rob Lowe.
Sex, Lies, and Videotape.
Yeah,
He's
that's
in a
right.
few-
Interesting
Yeah,
movie.
he's in a few good movies.
Justin Timberlake. We haven't touched on Justin Timberlake. Oh boy! Yesterday
Did Brittany say anything yet?
she
Kind of.
posted something, but not about him.
Oh, she was juggling swords.
Hopefully.
But yesterday we thought that he had kind of just not really pulled rank at all with the cop, just sort of took it. But actually, it turns out he said, "Oh, this is going to mess up the tour." And the cop, who did not know who he was, said, "What tour?" And he said, "The world tour." And the cop just was like, "What is he talking about?"
So what?
Come on, you can't say world tour. That sounds so fake.
I know, it's
Sounds
so
like you're
stupid.
also on drugs.
It's going to be a world tour.
Yeah.
The cop did not know who he was. He had
We're
no
in the
idea.
world tour. Oh yeah, this guy thinks he's Jesus.
When he was on Punk'd, didn't he also cry and tell his mom?
He did.
Yes, he
when he was
did.
punked.
That's right.
Yeah, because they were taking his car. That's right, and they were going to take his house. That was the whole thing. He was being evicted.
Yeah, guarantee he cried.
Yeah, he did. He cried to his mom, and then Ashton walked out. What an
Oh
embarrassing!
God, that was
Now you're
horrible.
crying in front of Ashton.
Yeah, can you imagine?
No, I would think he'd be just been so pissed he would have never allowed them to use that part.
Oh my Lord, I remember that. That was so uncomfortable.
Yeah, that was really cringy.
Do you think he cried this time?
His mugshot. It
Yeah,
doesn't look
absolutely.
Like does it look like he's crying in his mugshot? Because I thought he looked
He
pretty
looked pretty
okay
happy,
for a
actually.
mugshot.
He looked like a nice, happy drunk, like a solid, good, happy buzz.
Yeah, he looked kind of like I stand by this event.
It's pretty glassy eyed.
Glossy.
No,
Yeah.
he is welled up from tears.
Yeah, you know what?
Oh,
His eyes are a little
He
bloodshot.
could have been
Yeah.
crying. You're right.
He has absolutely been crying all night. Nobody can.
Well, okay. When is
He
the
dances real well for a straight fella.
That sure does.
Doesn't he?
when's the cop cam coming out?
You think Hugh Jackman bailed him out?
What is up with Hugh Jackman,
He's
by
just
the
a
way?
gay man. Didn't he finally leave his monster wife?
Yes,
Yes.
he did.
Did he ever come out though? He never
No.
came out.
I don't think he
Not
officially
yet.
came out.
Okay.
But yeah, everybody's like, oh, I just like that he stayed with her. And it's like, well, yeah, he's not fucking her. He's not a man.
I don't know. Why would Hugh Jackman not come out? It just seems like he would.
Yeah, you assume he would
Loose.
just.
Probably help his career.
Yeah, you just get more work.
Because he's Wolverine, though. He can't
Oh, you make a
be
good-
Wolverine, can he? Or
yeah.
can he?
You
Or,
might
or
be
maybe
right.
the new Wolverine is allowed.
You're right, though. But I don't know. Wolverine and Deadpool both seem like you got to be straight. I'm with you.
But anyway, the sources said Justin was drinking more to escape the backlash over Britney's bombshell book.
Wait, he blamed her?
No, he didn't blame her. But people around him or
Think
part of
that
his tour said he's definitely been showing up reeking of alcohol at rehearsals, and it seemed like
Because of
after Britney's book,
Britney?
he sort
No.
of started to fall apart. I mean, he did get shit on heavily. I mean, he performed the abortion in the book, didn't he?
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
You're losing that kid, and I'll do it.
Yeah.
She got the abortion at home.
Yeah,
She did.
but he stayed with her and he played the guitar while she was crying.
Well, he kicked it out of her, threw it on the stairs. He did it himself.
She
He
made
used
him look-
Timberlands.
She made him look so bad in that book, and I just
She
who
claimed he used
believes her? I can't believe people believe her.
Well, I can't believe anybody believes that she wrote it.
Well, there's that.
Yeah, but no, she's too crazy
She's
now.
nuts.
And I feel bad for her, genuinely, because she was one of those people who got dragged into child stardom. I remember I saw her, and it was not my choice, but I went, and I wasn't upset about it. But I was 17 at Pine Knob, and my girlfriend wanted to go, so we went.
Oh, she played Pine Knob.
She played Pine Knob. I was
Wow.
17, but she was 17, so it wasn't weird to me by the number of grown men that
You were just
went
taking one for the team.
Yes, I was going with my girlfriend, like we went, but we were watching the show, but now looking at it in hindsight, like all the grown men that were there just staring at her is frightening. It's like thinking about how the Runaways were a band,
Right.
or whatever. Like the fact that it was just jailbait.
Built to titillate people. I heard that and never knew it was true. You've just now confirmed a rumor that I once heard that only like old dudes wanted to go to that show.
Absolutely.
They sold so many tickets. to
Wait, there
old-
weren't a lot of
old
girls?
perverts.
There
Yes,
were, but it was way too many like old guys for there to all be dads. I always thought it was weird. I was like, wow, their daughters must all be in the bathroom for a long amount of time. And it was really, really creepy.
She's wearing that little Catholic girl skirt.
Oh, yeah.
and all that. Yeah.
I never
This was
thought,
99, yeah.
I just never thought she could sing. I couldn't stand her voice.
Oh, she wasn't singing.
Just dancing.
No, she was shaking her teen tits for grown men. If she was singing, you couldn't tell. It's like any pop star, really, that I've seen live. They're not actually doing it.
It just seems like this whole progression through Disney as a 11-year-old or whatever, or Nickelodeon. It just seems like that hasn't worked out very well.
Never.
So why are we still doing it?
No, it's like,
Unless you're Timberlake
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's
or
true.
Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, Gosling.
If you're a guy, it works out fine. Well, that's not true.
A lot of guys have gone the wrong way too.
The recent Quiet on the Set documentary proved that if you're a guy, it doesn't work out at all.
Well, Keenan's doing okay. I think there's something that guys survive a lot better than the women, right?
Well, yeah. Well, Keenan looks like Keenan.
Yeah.
I'm sure
so no one's ever interested in him.
And nobody was like, hey, could you lay on a bed and milk a potato, Keenan?
Although Ariana Grande, right?
That's right.
Yeah, do you want to lick sauce off
The
your feet?
pickle, yeah,
You're flexible enough to lick
That was-
hot sauce off your feet?
So weird. Oh my God, I can't believe that happened.
Oh, I was watching it in my house, just disturbed. And then later on, I turned on the TV, and my son goes, "What's the dark side of kids' TV?" Because I left it on.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
Yeah, and he's 9, and I was like, "Oh, it means like,
Scare
Are
him.
You Afraid of the Dark?" It was a Nickelodeon show. I'm like just desperately trying to find anything else to watch.
Oh man. All right, Dave, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The Normal World on YouTube and anywhere else. I mean, you're on iTunes and all those places too, of course.
Yeah, iTunes, Spotify, and if you guys want to come out, I'll be at the Comedy Castle in August.
All right.
here in
Oh,
Detroit.
what are the
So,
dates?
yeah. I believe August 12th, 13th, 14th, right in there.
All right, I'm going to definitely make it out to a show.
Please do.
Yeah,
Tickets
for sure.
on me. I would love it if you guys came out.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you for having
We'll
me.
get you hooked up for some Tigers action too.
Oh, dude, I would love that.
all
Thank
right,
you.
for sure. I'll text you later.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave.
Oh boy.
Bye to you.
I love.
Fucking guard dog.
Calm down. Come here. Come here.